What's up rushers, Michael here back on the channel. Today we are tackling the Haunted Castle Challenge mode. The Summoner's War Rush devs have stated in a recent patch notes that they've upped the difficulty to challenge mode, so be warned. But don't sweat it because I've got the perfect strategy to help you crush it. We'll break down the best formation to use, recommended cards, the main skill, then dive right into conquering the challenge. Let's get started. Before we jump into additional information, before we get into conquering this challenge mode, I want to touch on a very crucial tip, and that is the weekly rewards. These weekly rewards cannot be missed out on. As you can see, you need to defeat 2,000 total enemies. That doesn't mean in just one run, that means 2,000 enemies accumulated over every single run that you do. So for example, if I did one run and defeated 500 enemies, I would have to run the challenge mode 3 additional times, hitting at least 500, then I would complete the total 2,000 enemies completed, making me eligible to unlock every single reward in here. Let's start by talking about the bonus monster stats for the week. This remains constant throughout each week, maybe a few changes here and there, but for this week, an increased attack for 100% along with accuracy by 100% as well. Crush rate is increased by 15% and crush damage by 30%. This only applies to Annabelle, Lima, Tezeron, Alicia, Rena, and Cassandra. I can't stress this enough, these are 6 phenomenal characters that you must include in your formation, so please triple check that these characters are within there. Looking at the formation, we have Grogen, Lucia, Charlotte, Lima, Sabrina in the top row, along with Cassandra, Verde, Melissa, Celestia, Delphoy. Then we have Anne, Lushan, Tezeron, Gian, and Galleon. Finally, Alicia, Annabelle, Rena, Artemel, and Shiwa. Again, highlighting all 6 bonus monsters are included within this formation. Now don't worry about my star levels. These monsters will work fine even if you have a single copy of them, especially if you slot in the 6 bonus stat monsters as you can see at the top here. But obviously if you have majority of these monsters with Devilmon, then it will make your life a lot more easier within this challenge. However, it is not a requirement. Now talking about the best cards to use within here, in my opinion, Frozen Arrows and Crystal Spear are 2 must-haves. Pairing this with Draconic Charge and Hiss. And don't forget Web Mine as well, these are must-haves in your run. Now onto the monster skills that you want to prioritize. In my opinion, you definitely want to go for Galleon's skill. His skill is so crucial in the challenge mode, along with Grogen's skills as well. Pairing this with Rena's skill too. And of course, you can't forget about Sabrina's skills as well. Feel free to use Melissa, Artemel, Lima, and Annabelle's skills, because these skills are also very crucial to your challenge mode success. Quickly touching on the support skill for the week, this support skill is called Restrain Ghosts. When deploying this skill, it casts a root effect on enemies in the area for 10 seconds. If you don't know what root does, it disables affected targets from moving, so deploying this on bosses will make the difference. Now that we've touched on everything that you need to know for this week's challenge mode, let's jump right into crushing it. Alrighty, let's get started with the challenge mode. Some crucial tips I want to note: if you're struggling, put it on ×1. If not, you're very experienced within the challenge mode, put it on ×2 and make sure this is turned off as well, so you're picking your own cards like the ones that we suggested. Along with the camera angle, I actually like to use the first camera as we just went through all of the different camera modes there. You want to put it a bit higher up so you can see the heroes at the bottom here. Starting off with Grogen, when you're ready, press start and let's dominate this challenge mode. Good luck to everyone that is doing this. This guide hopefully will help you crush this haunted castle challenge mode. All right, now you want to wait for this skull on the top right, then press it. I actually want to go for a Lima here around the middle, and we might as well go for either a Galleon early on, in my opinion, to get the setting sail effect, her personal skill, which is very, very OP. We already have Limas to start. Making sure you're pressing the skull yet again. You could even go for Cassandra here. I might save Sabrina on the right side so we can use her a bit later. We could go with Lushan just for more DPS out front, making sure they're not getting in as fast as possible. Check on the right side if they're coming from here. You want to put Artemel here, making sure he's taking all of the right side out, pressing your skull yet again. There's a lot to remember in challenge mode, so if you're struggling, you can retry simply and get these techniques down so you know for next time. But very good start already. Artemel taking down the right side paired with Jan. We're actually going to go with Alicia, making sure we have enough DPS on the right side. And if they're struggling, Alicia can freeze them, and Artemel and Gian will be taking those out. We definitely want to get Sabrina next, if possible, around the middle area to the right. But we want to make sure that when the skull comes out, that we can pick it up. But Sabrina, we want to have her about there, making sure that is being taken out. We could even go for Annabelle about there as well if they're coming by. I'm liking this side too. We'll go with Shiwa here. Hiss as well on the left side. There's a lot to maneuver. I am on an iPad right now. If you are wondering, Michael, what are you playing on? I am playing on an iPad. So it's pretty difficult to maneuver on a device like this, but don't worry, you can still crush it. It is very, very possible. Now we aren't getting the skills that we want. I really want Galleon's personal skill because it is a game changer in here. On the right side, we're doing very, very well, waiting for the skull yet again. Just so we deploy that. We could even go with Charlotte about here. That should be fine for her. I guess we'll go for Celestia here for more accuracy on the right side here for all of our units in general. There it is. Galleon set sail effect, or Hiss making this very, very easy throughout. Once you get that, it's pretty much autopilot from there. We'll go with Delphoy here. For that stun effect as well. We'll go for Web Mine. Why not? We could go for, we'll go for the Draconic Charge. Set sail. I want to do as much damage as possible with that. Nearly done with this already, which is kind of crazy to think about, making sure you're pressing the skull too. But yeah, wave 19 already. We're taking out the targets relatively fast. We could even use the skill on this if we wanted to, preventing them from moving any further, dealing additional more damage. Rena will do on the top right. If you have a higher invested in, then definitely she would do a lot more damage. But as you can see here, Annabelle and pairing on with the other troops, taking down those troops that spawn on the side. Waiting for the skull yet again. We put Lucia on the left side here, just in case they're getting through. We have the necessary DPS to take them out. As you see on the left side, I'm not too worried about the left side. They're taking them out relatively easy. Now you could use a skill here on these targets, like the big guy to the right here, taking him out really easily there. But as you can see, Tezeron can still target the people on the left. You can see the left side is completely fine, which is kind of crazy to think about, but I think the right side is lacking a little bit. So we're going to put our remainder units on the right side. As you can see on the left, we are crushing that very, very easy. Alicia is going to help with that. You want to use a skill on this massive boss, making sure he's being taken out as soon as possible. The left side is looking fine. The right side as well. We're going to go with Lushan's ability here. Not getting great RNG with our cards, but it is okay. Don't need to worry about that at all. As you can see, Lushan's ability is kind of broken in here, even though he isn't an overall superstar when it comes to the characters. But we want to press the skull and then we want to deploy Verde. This is the final way, making sure you're using your skills on the bosses. Whenever you can get it again, you want to spawn those skills in For us, I believe we want to spawn it on the right side. Maybe we should be fine. No, we want to go to the left if we can get another skill. The right side is taken out already. This is actually going to be a new record. Let's go! Alright, that wraps up today's video on the Haunted Castle Challenge mode. As you saw, we crushed it and hit the top 10 on the leaderboards. I hope this guide helped you conquer this week's challenge. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.